सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So as an introduction to the 239 shloka, it was said that the four following shlokas are the conclusion after the inquiry into the Tatpada. So Tvam-pada Vichara is complete, and Tatpada Vichara, when it is complete, what do you land in? What is this Nirguna Brahma? That is shown in 239, 240, 241, and we are yet to see 242. So in 242 it is said, Aheyam anupadeyam manovachaam aprameyam anadyantam brahma purnam mahanmaha. So this Nirguna Brahma, which is the lakshartha of the Tatpadartha, is what? Aheyam. Aheyam anupadeyam. Aheyam means, and anupadeyam both together means that you cannot give up or take. Anything which is an object can be given up or can be taken. But the subject who objectifies everything, who proceeds to either give up or take something, he himself cannot be given up. You don't have a choice. You are what you are. So why I am saying with the Tvam-pada Padartha itself? Because Bhagavan, finally Ishvara, where you have Sagunatvam, which is the Tatpadartha Vachyartha, once it is seen as Satchidananda Brahma, then it cannot be picked up or dropped because it is you. It is not an object, it is the Sakshi itself. Although it is Tatpada, still you land in Tvam-pada. But anyway, if you just take Tatpada also, that Nirguna Brahma cannot be given up or cannot be taken up. Mano Vachama Gocharam. It is beyond the Manas and Vak. Why? It cannot be objectified through your external sense organs, or it cannot be objectified with Mana also. It is not as it is said that where from the speech returns or the mind returns without objectifying it, you cannot know it as idam, like anything else. So all this is saying that it is not an object. Aprameyam we have seen earlier also, but here aprameyam is that which can be known only through the Shruti Pramana, through Shravana Mana Nididhyasana. It is known only through the Neti Prakriya. There is no other possibility. You cannot have dhyana and conclude that what I see in dhyana is that, what I feel in dhyana is that. It is not a feeling, it is what you are without any superimposition of koshas. It is not that Bhagavan that you see in meditation, you say that this is my Ishtadevata, I will, or even Guru, this is my Parama Guru, and then I will do meditation on that entity. All that is fine, but what it lands you in is only Sagunatvam. You cannot meditate without a guna. Although there is Nirguna Brahma Upasana, how that happens is itself is questioned in Panchadashi, and it is answered. It works the way the Jnana works. How Nirguna Brahma Dhyana is possible, similarly Nirguna Brahma Upasana is possible. For that also you should know only Neti Prakriya. Nedam. which will come up as na idam, or na iti. So apramayam is that which cannot be, does not have pramana, does not have, the prama is not possible regard to that through the other sense organs, through the other sense organs or through other pramanas, except for this pramana. So earlier it was taken one way, now it is taken as that which can be known only through Shravana Mana Nidhyasana. Adyant and Anadyantam. Anadyantam, it does not have a beginning or an end. Anantam, Ananta Brahma. This also has come up in a different way earlier. So Brahma is Purna, and that Brahma, Brahi Vriddhau, which cannot be limited. So that infinity also, that Brahma is Purna. Is Purna means it does not, has many connotations. Purnat Purnam or Purusha. The way we say Purnat Purusha. That Purusha is due to making everything complete. So this Purna is the Turiya. Turiya meaning the fourth, what is called as the fourth in comparison to the other three. So if you see the Vishwa, Tejasa and Prajna at the individual level, similarly you have in the waking, dream and the deep sleep states. Similarly at the universal level you have Virat Purusha. Virat Purusha, who is the ruler of the waking world, or who is in Saprapancha. Saprapancha is Jagrat Prapancha. Along with the Jagrat Prapancha, that Sharira, along with the Jagrat Prapancha, which is Sharira of Brahma, that is called as Virat. And then along with the Swapna Sharira, Swapna Prapancha, all the Swapna Prapanchas put together, Sukshma Shariras put together. Basically Swapna Sharira means Sukshma Shariras put together is called as Hiranyagarbha. Brahma is called as Hiranyagarbha. And that in the deep sleep state, the Maya Sharira, all the Ajnana put together is Maya Shakti. So that Maya, which is at the individual level called as Avidya or Ajnana, that Sharira, Maya Sharira is for the Brahma, who is called as Ishvara then. That is Sagunatva. All these are objectifiable. So you can meditate upon Virat, you can meditate upon Hiranyagarbha, you can meditate upon Ishvara. But how will you meditate upon Nirguna Brahma other than through Neti Prakriya? So even Kenopanishad says that if you think that you know by objectification in meditation also, then it is not that. It is not that. So that is Purna Brahma is that which is that fourth state in what is called as Turiya, which is not different here or there. Meaning in the individual that Turiya is same as the Turiya in the total, in the Tatpada. So Tvam-pada Lakshartha, which is Turiya, and Tatpada Lakshartha, which is Turiya, is not different. That is Purna, which cannot be separate at all. It is Purna. It makes the other three complete. So other three in Mandukya Upanishad, they are treated as quarters, just like 3 quarters of a coin. And then you have the fourth quarter, which is called as Turiya. Now the fourth, in relation to the other three, it is called the fourth. Otherwise there is nothing called as a fourth. That fourth pervades all three. The same Brahma becomes Virat with a Sharira Upadhi, with a Hiranyagarbha with some other Sharira Upadhi, and Ishvara with the Maya Upadhi. At the individual, anyway this is Tatpada, but at the individual level, the same Brahma, which is called as Atma, takes Upadhi of Ajnana Sharira and Avidya Sharira and becomes Prajna, takes another Upadhi of Sukshma Sharira and becomes in Swapna, he becomes Tejasa, and then he takes the Jagrat Sharira, which is the Stula Sharira, and then becomes Vishwa. But it is the same Brahma who makes the other 3 padas complete, because he is pervading all 3 avasthas and all 3 shariras also. He is pervading, and thereby he is not really the fourth, he is that which makes all 3 Purna. Therefore also it can be called as Purna here. So Purna and Mahan Maha. Mahan Maha is is like the Surya Jyoti. So Mahat is Surya, etc., which is Suryadi Bhasakam, the Tikakara says, and Maha is Jyoti. So there it is the Mahat Jyoti. Mahat Jyoti, the highest effulgence. It is the only Jyoti. There is no other Jyoti. It is that, like the sunlight is the only light which makes others shine, or the moon shine. Similarly, this Mahat Jyoti is that which makes even the sun shine. The sun also shines due to the your own Jyoti. That's why this is Mahan Maha. स्वात्मत्वेन अहेयम् अनुपादेयं मनोवाचाम गोचरम यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते इति श्रुतेः. Due to the Shruti which says that it is not reachable through speech or the mind, and this is what it means is that the vak there is indicative of other sense organs also. It cannot be objectified by any sense organs or the mind. Only through the buddhi it can be understood, and the understanding is through the neti neti prakriya. We have seen even the Mahavakya Tattvamasi works that when it says Tattvamasi, you have to remove every other upadhi, and what remains is only one, which cannot be different. That Advitiya, what we saw yesterday, the Advitiya, which Advitiya meaning it cannot be a different individual Advitiya, and the Samashti, Vyashti or Samashti, which is at the universal level, it cannot be different Advitiya. Advitiya means without a second, and that means it is only one, and there is no here or there is no Deshakala Vastu Paricheda. Aprameyam Shravanamana Nidhyasana Samskrita Manovrutti Vyaptam. That which is known only through Shravanamana Nidhyasana, which is possible only in a Samskrita Manaha. That Vritti, Akhandakara Vritti, is possible only in the mind, Antakarana, in the Buddhi, which is Samskrita purified, and through Shravanamana Nidhyasana. Anadyantam, what is Anadyantam? Kaladesha Paricheda Shunyam. Ataha Purnam. So, Purnam I explained as this Kaladesha Paricheda Shunyam. Also possible, but he says this is the Hetu. That is the Hetu for being Purna. What else will you call it? That which, it is infinity. So whether Brahi Vruddhau, Purnam, all these have similar. So Brahma can be a name, but derivation wise that is also Purna. And then Anadyantam, that is also leading to Purna. So Kaladesha Paricheda Shunyam Ataha Purnam. And Mahat Suryadi Bhasakam, Mahat Jyotihi. Mahat is what? Suryadi Bhasakam. That which is like this. Mahat means the biggest. What is that biggest? Here Surya, and Maha is Jyoti. So Mahat Jyoti is like the Surya Jyoti is the highest, the brightest of the light. Similarly, this Mahat Jyoti is self-effulgence, and self-effulgence, the only effulgence, and effulgence there is not literal, it is figurative for Chit, Chetana, it is self-revealing. Iti Tatpadartha Shodhanam. This is how you land on the real Lakshartha of Tatpada, which is not different from you. Padartha Shodhayitva Vakyartham Vaktum Arabhate Tattvam Ityadina. So what the Shruti says is Tattvamasi, that you are. Says you are that. So having analyzed the sentence, the Vedanta is also called as Uttara Mimamsa. Having done Mimamsa, which is textual analysis of the sentence, you see what are the words. So there are three words, Tat, Tvam and Asi. That you are. So you is seen earlier, the pada through Panchakosha Viveka. Now Tat pada is also Shodhita. It is also inquired into. What you land into, that pure Shuddha Brahma, that is on the Tat side, and what you have landed on is the Pratyagatma on the Tvam side. Now Asi pada says that you are that. So now what is the meaning of the sentence? That is analyzed in toto. Tattvam padabhyam abhijiyamanayoho ब्रह्मात्मनो शोधितयोर्यदित्थं श्रुत्या तयोस्तत्त्वमसीति सम्यग् एकत्वमेव प्रतिपाद्यते मुहुः. So muhuhu pratipadyate. Muhuhu pratipadyate. What is revealed through the sentence, through the Shruti Mahavakya, again and again. Muhuhu means again and again. Punah punah. Again and again, what is being said, stated through all the Shruti Vakyas, Ekavakyata. It is talking about only one thing. All are talking about a single sentence, and that single sentence leads to Ekatvam. Tattvamasi is by saying that you are that, it is revealing Advaita. The Tattva is one. There is no individual and total. There is no individual and another individual. There is no individual subject and object. No divisions are there. It is one homogeneous entity, and Ekattvameva pratipadyate muhuhu. Samyaktaya, samyak, very well, as in this is the conclusion through all the tarka. When you analyze the entire Shruti, Karmakanda as well as Jnanakanda, through the Tatparya, Lingas, which are the indicators which tell you what is the commitment of the Shruti, finally where is it leading to, what does it want to teach us. Through Karmakanda, it wants to teach us Chitta Shuddhi. That Chitta Shuddhi is not for the purpose of Chitta Shuddhi alone. It is teaching you how to meet your goals in Laukika also, but it tells you that that is incomplete. It cannot give you Ananda which is Purna, which cannot be taken away from you. It will give you Ananda which keeps on coming and going, even in Swarga. That Swarga is maybe long lasting, but it also has an end. So Shruti through all of this, through Karmakanda also is teaching that, it is teaching Vairagya. You try to indulge, but still you will never be completely happy. So it tells you that even with happiness that you get from various upadhis, whether in this Sharira or in the Shariras in Swarga, Pitraloka, Brahmaloka, Vaikuntha ityadi, finally it is still limited, and it is Antya. It is that which is subject to an end. It is not Ananta. Therefore you have to come back again and again into various Shariras based on your karma. You cannot enjoy that Sukha which is your own Swarupa. So it can only be through knowledge, and that knowledge across Upanishads, what is spread is leading to Ekavakyata. There is only single committed goal of the Shruti. This is the conclusion of Advaita, which analyzes the Karmakanda and all the Upanishads, all the Shastras which are based on the Shruti, on the Vedas, and thereby it leads to Ekavakyata, meaning there is commitment unto only one statement which is saying that you are that. The conclusion is that through all Upanishads, and then therefore in many times, in many ways, what is being said is that Ekatvam is stated is only that oneness which is Advitiya, which can never be two. So Tattvam, Tat and Tvam, Tattvam Padabhyam, through these two words, Tat and Tvam, Abhidhiyamanayoho Tattva Padabhyam. So by these, the words Tat and Tvam, which are what really Brahmatmanoho, Brahma and Atma. So Tat is Brahma and Tvam is Atma. Through these, what is being indicated here? So the Brahma Atma, which are Abhidhiyamanoho. So Manayoho, Abhidhiyamanayoho is those which are now indicated through these. These have, whose meanings have been analyzed now, Shodhitayoho. So those which have been analyzed now, each Padartha is analyzed, which are these Tat and Tvam. So Tat and Tvam, Brahma and Atma, which are indicated by these words Abhidhiyamana, they are being indicated. These words are finally what you have inquired into. Shoditayoho. How have you inquired into it? Idam itham. You have inquired into them. Shoditayoho yad itham. Not idam itham, yad itham. Idam itham means this is exactly how it has to be done. So Shruti shows one way. Here it is, some ways are shown. So there are various Shrutis showing various ways. There is all prakriyas. There may be prakriya bheda, there may be difference in how to approach, but all of them lead to inquiry into yourself. Whether you do it through avastatraya pariksha, whether you do the vichara through panchakosha viveka, however you do it, you will land on the same goal in Tvam-pada. And Tat-pada also, how to inquire into it as a creator, Karya-Karana Bheda, and then Abheda of Karya-Karana. First you see the Prapancha as Mithya, then you see Prapancha as having basis on Sad-Brahma. All these various ways which are discussed across Shruti or across Prakarana Granthas, they lead to the single goal, which is Ekavakyata. And Itham Shoditayo, the way it is explained here, when these are inquired into in this manner, then Shrutya Tayoho Tattvamasi iti Samyag Ekatvam Muhu Pratipadyate. What you know is that through Shruti, what is being said many times. So here example can be taken of Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi Vakya. So Tayoho Tattvamasi iti Samyag. So through all Shrutis, this is extended to all Shrutis. But if you take that one Upanishad where it is taught 9 times, Asakrat Upadeshaha, that Tattvamasi Vakya was taught to Shvetaketu 9 times in 6th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad. Every time he said, please explain it to me with another example. So each and every aspect of his ajnana is going with each and every answer when he said another example. So finally at the 9th Upadesha, which was same Tattvamasi Upadesha, but that Tat and Tvam, although that Tat is this creator, and then Tvam, the Sambandha, Tadatmya that Shvetaketu had with the Tvam Padartha, what he understood at all the 9 stages, it was growing clarity and landing inward and inward. Through each example, one doubt dropped off, one doubt was answered, and what he landed into finally is the Pratyagatma. But what was the teaching through all the 9 statements of Tattvamasi? It was the same teaching. With various examples, some ajnana may have gone, but it is the same teaching. So in all prakriyas also it is the same thing. All Upanishads also, what they are teaching is Ekavakyata. The methodology may be different, but it is teaching the same Brahma being you. And being you meaning there is no another. And we saw there is no other Brahma, there is no other Abrahma, and there is no division in Brahma. All these 3 we saw. So Shrutya Tayoho Brahmatmanoho Shoditayoho Abhidiyamanayoho Tattvam Padabhyam Abhidiyamana. So which are indicated through Tat and Tvam Pada. So indicated meaning Tattvam Pada, if you take literally Vachyartha, it is the individual and the total. But when when it is said Lakshartha, Abhidiyamana is indicated through these words Tat and Tvam. So what is the meaning indicated? Means it is not the Vachyartha, it is not the literal you, what you think in Vyavahara, that real you, not with the Sharira Upadhi. So you take away Sharira Upadhi from both sides, where you land in, that is Brahma and Atma. Brahmatmanayoho Shoditayoho Yaditham Tat Ekattvameva Pratipadya. So what is Shoditayo Shrutya Tattvamasi Samyag Muhu Yad Pratipadyate Tad Ekattvameva. So this is how the Anvaya is. You have to supply Tat, since Yat is there. Yat Pratipadyate Shrutya Muhu Yat Samyaktaya Pratipadyate Shrutya Tad Ekatvam Eva. That is only oneness. Anyone else who has another conclusion has to be wrong. You cannot have all of them, all darshanas as right. It is only that darshana which says that ekatvam is being taught, only that is right. This is what it is said by Evakara. तत्त्वमसि इत्यत्र तत्पदेन त्वंपदेन जगत् कर्तृत्वादि विशिष्टत्वेन जागृदाद्यवस्था विशिष्टत्वेन च अभिधीयमानयोः शक्त्या बोध्यमानयोः. So here it is said तत्त्वमसि इत्यत्र in the 6th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad with the Mahavakya तत्त्वमसि ityatra in that statement which has been taught 9 times. Tatpadena Twampadena. What is meant there in Tattvamasi, Tatpada and Twampada with the word Tat and Tvam? The earlier Tatpada says Jagat Kartrutvadi Vishishtatvena. It is that which has an upadhi of what? Jagat Karta. It is Ishvara who is the cause of this world, who is the creator, we say. So cause of this world, Karana, Jagat Kartrutva means he is the creator, etc. Other Visheshanas are given. So he sustains the world, he resolves the world, all this will be said. And that Jagat Kartrutvadi Vishishtatvena, through those adjectives, through these adjuncts, what has been said about that Tatpada and Jagradadyavastha Vishishtatvena. On the Twampada side, who is this Tvam? He is one who is having the adjunct in the form of an individual. So Jagradadyavastha Vishishtatvena, who goes through these 3 states of waking, dream and deep sleep. This individual who keeps on going through these 3 states, every day in, day out, he keeps on doing that. He has, whenever an individual is seen, he is in one of these 3 states. So he is always continuing in samsara through these 3 states. So avasthatraya prakriya is being talked about. There can be others also. Panchakosha, who is associated with the Panchakosha. But Panchakosha association is not taken because the Panchakosha at each level you can see the upadhi, same upadhi at the universal in Ishvara also. So here Jagradadi Avastha Vishishta, the Karta does not undergo these avasthas. He is not dreaming. Ishvara is not dreaming. You are the one who is dreaming or waking or in deep sleep. They are just explained as upadhis with shariras at the total. So Jagat Kartrutvadi Vishishtatvena Jagradadyavastha Vishishtatvena cha Abhijiyamanayoho. Abhijiyamanayo means what? Indicated through Shakti, the Padartha Shakti. Each word has, in the Mimamsaka says that each word has the Shakti to reveal something, and all words put together, they have some Shakti to reveal something. That's why you know why you, even as a child, we knew and came to know about something because the word had the potential to reveal something. Pada Padartha or Abheda. The Pada and Padartha have no difference. Pada is Padartha. Artha, Pada and Artha are connected. Mimamsaka says they have Nitya Sambandha. So thereby there is a Shakti. Shakti, and Mimamsaka has a particular way of analyzing the sentence which is carried forward in Uttara Mimamsa Vedanta also. So Abhidhyamanu, you have to see whether this sentence Tat Tvamasi, that you are the total or you are the creator, does it make sense if you take the literal words? If you take the literal meaning of the words, then it does not make sense. How can an individual who has Jagrat Swapna Ityadi Avastha and the creator who created all this Prapancha, the Jagrat Prapancha, you are the one who is waking to this world which is created by Ishvara. But you are that Ishvara when it is said, then you, the individual, you have not created the world. As an individual, you can barely create anything. But how can you create the world? This is what is said here in the statement Tattvamasi. So literal words in the Tattvamasi do not make sense. So when they do not make sense, Lakshana has to be used. And that is what is called as Abhidhyamanayoho. Through these words, what is indicated? Where is their Asipada applicable? How can Asipada be possible? How can you are something that is said that you and R have to be seen as one. How can they be one? Only in that manner it has to be interpreted. Therefore, here abhidhiyamanayo, the jiva and the jiva meaning the tvam padartha, and Ishvara meaning the tat padartha. Jiveshwarayo aikya. How is it possible? In that manner, these words have to be understood. So you have to analyze the words till you land on the meaning which finally makes sense. The sentence makes sense. That is the equation. You solve mathematically. You solve the equation by seeing what is on the left side and what is on the right side. LHS equal to RHS has been said. You have to resolve the equation so that it finally makes sense. So there is some equation of upadhi and something on the, so something and upadhi on left hand side, on the jiva side, and on Ishvara side there is something and upadhi on the right side. That's something which is common through Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana or Jahad Ajal Lakshana. What is common you keep, what is not common, which is created by the upadhi, you separate out. What remains is this equation, which is no longer an equation because it is a statement of fact, that Satchidananda plus a limited upadhi is Satchidananda plus a creator upadhi, the total upadhi. So you take away the karana upadhi and you take away the karya upadhi on the jiva side. Jiva has a karya upadhi. He has this maya karya as upadhi, which is the sharira, and the Ishvara has maya, which is a karana upadhi, which has created this prapancha jagat, which is the set of shariras. So jagat is nothing but the shariras put together, all the shariras put together. When you remove those, what remains is that Shuddha Chaitanya, which is Satchidananda Brahma. This is how the prakriya works. So here says Shaktya Bodhyamanayoho Brahmatmanoho. This Brahma and Atma, which are the real meanings of the word, of the words Tat and Tvam, Brahma cha Atma cha Brahmatmano. And initially these meanings are differing. Brahma and Atma. Brahma is Ishvara. Tayoh Ishvara Jivayo. So Brahma is Ishvara and Atma is, we say, I am Atma. So when you say I, Atma is I. So Jiva. Between Jiva and Ishvara, Asi has been taught. Asi pada has been taught. Itham Purokta Prakarana Shodhitayo. Itham. Yad Itham meaning how, in which manner. Itham is in this manner, meaning Purokta Prakarana. In the manner that has been taught, how to inquire into Tvam-pada and Tat-pada. Tattvamasi iti shrutya tayoho kevala chinmatrayoho ekatvam muhuhu navakritvaha chandogye etadrishayoho bhede manabhavat samyak pratipadyate. What is taught in the Chandogya Upanishad 9 times, that is muhuhu. Again and again it is taught in Navakritvaha. 9 times it is taught in Chandogya. And what is taught finally? Kevala Chinmatrayoho. Both of these, Atma and Brahma, are what? Jiva and Brahma, Jiva and Ishvara are nothing but, both are Kevala Chinmatra. They are nothing but pure consciousness. That Sad Brahma, which is taught as consciousness, Chit Brahma, which is the Ananta Ananda Brahma, that which is seen as the creator of this entire prapancha, is nothing but this Jiva. So ekatvam eva navakritva chandogye etadrishayo bhede mana bhavat. How is it that is the conclusion? So you see in the other way, you put the onus of proving bheda onto the Purva Pakshi. We have analyzed and we have landed into the conclusion that ekatvam eva pratipadyate. Yat pratipadyate shrutya tad ekatvam eva. Or Shruti, you can say Shruti Bhi. By all Shrutis, what has been taught is only oneness of Jiva and Brahma. Jiva and Ishvara. Jiva and Ishvara. Brahma, when you say Saguna Brahma there. So Jiva and Ishvara, between them what has been taught is oneness. Purva Pakshi says how? We put the onus on him. We say you prove to us as to how is it that there is Bheda. So if this is prakriya of one Drishti Srishti Vadin, a great Swamiji who wrote a great work on it. So that Swamiji he says that Yati uses this prakriya. Please prove to me how is Bheda established, how it is taught in the Shruti, which all Acharyas have done. All Advaita Acharyas have inquired into, starting with Vyasacharya himself shows Advaita, but others misinterpret it in Brahma Sutra. So Adi Shankaracharya has established, in Bhashyas he has established Ekatvam is taught. So analyzing the Shrutis you land in this, analyzing the Smritis you land in this. Now we have shown that there is no contradiction in Shruti if you interpret in this way. If the Purva Pakshi says no, there is Bheda taught, then we ask him how? Please show. There is no pramana. So if he is trying to establish, it cannot be established without contradiction in the Shruti. It cannot be established that other than oneness something has been taught, meaning Dvaita is being taught or Vishishta Dvaita is being taught. There will be contradiction in Shruti across various mantras. Then logically can you prove? So use any pramana. So there he says mana bhavat is pramana bhava. There is no pramana to establish Dvaita. Other than oneness, if you want to establish something through any pramana also, you cannot establish, because there is no pramana. Bhede pramana bhava. They are not valid. They are not valid pramanas. You cannot say that, okay, I will not use my eyes and I will hear the color. You cannot hear the color. I will taste the color. You cannot taste color. You can only see the color. So there is only one pramana. Other than Shruti, there is no pramana for Atma. How will you prove? You cannot prove. And if you are trying to use the Shruti to prove, we have established it, that you cannot prove Dvaita because there is contradiction in the Shruti. And Shruti can be pramana for what? How is Dvaita known? We don't need any pramana to know Dvaita. As in, we don't need a separate pramana. What do we know? We know that Jiva is a limited entity and I am not the creator. Jiva meaning I. If you take an individual, I am not the creator of the world. This anyone knows, even a kid knows. You don't need to be schooled by Shruti to know that you are not the creator of the world. So that there is this prapancha, there is plurality and duality. Every infant who comes to birth, he or she knows because sees the world and starts crying. There is bheda, there is dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. Seeing the second, the child starts to cry. Why? Because it fears that something else I see. There was complete darkness in the womb. It was the only existent entity, and now suddenly second and third and fourth and this multiple, this world around him is rejoicing for his birth. He does not know. He sees something else. He sees something other than him and starts crying, the fear. So even an infant knows that he is not the creator of the world. He does not know the world. But as soon as he starts cognizing the world, he is scared. You are not scared from what you have created. So he is scared because he, without any teaching, knows that there is a difference between me and the world. There is a difference between me and the creator. As a person grows up, one starts inquiring into this world. Who created this? So somebody did create it. Did I create it? I didn't create it. So I see the world as existent. It was there before me. It will be there after me. And then I feel limited by this world. I am definitely not the creator. No one needs to teach me that I am not the creator of this world. Now, if you can know that you are not the creator of the world without the Shruti, then Shruti is not a pramana for Dvaita. That if you can know through your eyes that I can cognize color, I can understand what is color or form through eyesight, then eyesight is a pramana. If I can, eyesight alone is the pramana. When you say pramana, it is only one. You cannot have multiple pramanas for one thing. So now, if you say that I can hear, I will say that I see the color through eyes. Let me use this. It is a pramana. Let me use this eyesight to hear a sound. You cannot. You cannot. And thereby, even if someone tells you that I have a device or something which will let you know what the color is, You don't care for it, because finally I alone will be the pramana. For that as well, therefore, a second entity which says that it will reveal you color, that second pramana entity can never become pramana. Whatever that is, second instrument can never become pramana, because you already know through your eyesight that what is color, which color it is, what form it is, that you can cognize. So there is only one pramana. Any other instrument can never be pramana for eyesight. Similarly, when you know Dvaita through any pramana, we don't care how do you know Dvaita. You can say, I feel it, I see it, it is pratyaksha to me. Through pratyaksha pramana, you know that the prapancha is different from you, the creator is different from you, there are many jivas who are not you, and you are an individual. You are not the creator of the world. Then how can Shruti become pramana for that? Thereby, for astikas, it is refuted. It is an aropa on the astikas who are objectifying, who are objecting to Advaita Tattva, that oneness is not taught. Then what is taught? If oneness is not taught, then whatever is being taught, Dvaita, plurality, multiplicity, or duality, or that you are limited entity, that Shruti is not a pramana for you. So you are not an astika at all. You are an astika, because Shruti is no longer a pramana for you. This is a very good argument that an Advaitin makes, that you cannot say that Shruti is the pramana which is revealing something other than Aikyam. That something other than Aikyam you already knew. How can Shruti be teaching that? Shruti is not a pramana for you. So we don't want to talk to you at all. You have confused yourself endlessly. There is no discussion possible between you who does not take Shruti as a pramana. If you take Shruti as a pramana, it should be teaching something which cannot be known by any means of knowledge at your disposal, any pramana. And that Aikyam, which cannot be known any other way, by no other means it is possible to know. Pujya Swamiji used to say that you cannot stumble upon yourself. That you stumble upon yourself is that objectified yourself. It is not the subject who objectifies everything. You cannot stumble upon him without the Shruti telling you. So it takes away whatever you stumble upon. It takes away, you are not this, neti, neti, na karanam, na karyam. None of these. Not an individual, not a creator. Who are you finally? By saying that you are a creator, the creator upadhi is taken away, your upadhi is taken away as this panchakoshas. What remains is that Shuddha Chaitanya Satchidananda Brahma, that is one. So ekatvam eva pratipadyate. Yad pratipadyate Shuttya muhu muhurmuhu yat pratipadyate tad ekatvam eva. Cannot be anything else. This is this 243rd shloka. So bhede mana bhavat, since there is no pramana to establish difference, there is no pramana. If you say your duality is established by other pramanas, we say that in dream also it is established. So sapnavat mithya. Samyak pratipadyate, what is very well established is what? Tad aikyam iti uttarena sambandha. So tad has to be supplied, and this is how the anvaya will connect, which we have seen. 244th shloka says, Aikyam tayor lakshitayor navachyayoho nigadyate viruddha dharminoho Khadyota bhanorivarajavrityayoho Kupamburashyo paramanumervoho. Very difficult to chant these words. Not very often heard words in Vedanta. So now the objection is that how can you, the individual, be the creator of the world? This objection is answered here by what is the Aikya being taught? Muhurmuhu yad pratipadyate tad Aikyam eva, ekatvam eva. What is that oneness which is being taught? Between whom? Tat and Tvam. It is being taught not between Vachyayoho. Na Vachyayoho ekatvam, Vachyayoho na bhavati. Aikyam bhavati, kayoho bhavati. Between whom is it then? Tayoho lakshitayoho, which are indicated by the tat and tvam padartha, which are understood by lakshana. निगद्य not bhavati nigadyate. Yad aikyam nigadyate. Nigadyate means pratipadyate, which has been revealed by the Shruti, that oneness. What is that? तयोः वाच्ययोः ऐक्यं न निगद्यते, तयोः लक्षितयोः ऐक्यं निगद्यते. What aikyam is revealed is not between the literal meanings of tat and tvam, but the indicated meanings. Why? Because your objection is valid. We tell the Purva Pakshi, your objection is valid if the individual with the Upadhi was the creator of the world. Then your objection would be valid. The individual with the Upadhi of the world is not the creator. So, viruddha anyonya viruddha dharminoho, there are too many attributes which are contradictory between the individual and the total, between the Jiva and Ishvara. How? So examples are given. There are 3 examples are given which cover the 3 aspects of the differences or contradictions between the Upadhi, between the individual and total, between Jiva and Ishvara. One example given is Khadyota Bhanu. Khadyota and Bhanu. Bhanu is Surya, Khadyota is a firefly. So between a firefly which has some light which you can see in a small dot kind of a light which you can see in darkness, in pitch darkness, that Khadyota and Bhanu, Surya, what is the comparison? Is comparison possible between the 2 lights? Not even a comparison is possible. Similarly between Jiva and Ishvara. We'll see what aspect is compared with 3 examples in the Vyakhya. I do not want to repeat that. And then, so Khadyota Bhanvor Iva Rajya Vrityayoho. Raja Vrityayo. Raja Vrityayo is what? Raja is the king and Vritya is what? Servant. So like the ruler and the ruled. Servant is ruled over by the king. So between them what comparison is possible? Forget oneness, no comparison is possible. Kupambu Ashyoho. So the water in the well is compared with the ocean water. What is the comparison? No comparison is possible, let alone oneness. Paramanu Mervoho. And okay, 4th example is there. Paramanu Mervoho. Between Paramanu is the Nayayika's atom. So or scientifically you can say an atom. Between an atom size, so whatever is the size of the atom you compare with Meru Parvata or the Prithvi itself, a huge mountain. No comparison is possible, let alone oneness. So what aspect is compared with each of these? So if you take the literal meanings, then these are the contradictions. If you do not take the literal meaning, since literal meaning is not possible, therefore you go for the Lakshartha, and in Lakshartha oneness is definitely possible because it is Satchidananda Brahma which is said to be Satchidananda Atma. And both of these Tat and Tvam Padartha mean the same thing. So there is no contradiction possible. And there is nothing other than oneness possible because that Satchidananda cannot be shown as other than one because there is no pramana. There is no pramana to say that consciousness is multiple or 2, that satta is 2, that the limitlessness cannot be 2 anyway. Kinchidnyatva sarvajnyatva vishaye drishtantah khadyota bhanvor iti. So the first example, the firefly and the sun, they are given as example for what? To show that kinchidnyatva, firefly is small and the knowledge that we have is very little. So the little firefly, like the little firefly, we have very little knowledge in comparison to sarvajnyatvam of Ishvara, or in the example the sun light, which is all light during the day. All natural light during the day is the sunlight, and sarvajnyatvam is being indicated by that. So that is the contradiction. So atiparichhinna aparichinna prakashavatva. So due to the example showing that there is very little light that firefly can give, and there is a lot of light, incomparable light that the sun can give. नियम्य नियामक भाव विषये राज्य वृत्तियोर इति दृष्टान्तः. The example given between that the king, what is the comparison between the king and the servant? One is ruled, the servant is ruled, the jiva is ruled, and the king is the ruler, Ishvara is the ruler. Aishwarya means overlordship. And the Shruti quoted there is Bhishasmad Vatah Pavate Ityadi Shrutehe. So servant works due to the fear of the king. And everything around this world, even the jiva of this Surya is also a jiva. How is it that the Surya rises? So you can explain scientifically, but this meticulous arrangement, even though you can explain scientifically, we say the Surya is a Chetana, although the Jada Sharira, there is a Chetana within, who is Upasya Brahma. That Upasya Brahma does the function, whatever role is assigned to him, or whatever the Vayu role is assigned. Why does this Vayu go around the way it does? We can explain scientifically, but then how is it, why is it so? Why is it not any different? So you can explain a lot of things by say gravity, but gravity keeps all these planets together. But why is gravity there? That you cannot explain. You can explain scientifically some phenomena, but then why is it exactly so? Why should it not be any different? All this cannot be explained. So that is what Pujya Swamiji used to call the order of Ishvara. This is how things are. We know this is how things are, and Bhishas, that is explained in the Shruti as under, it is figurative there. As though under the fear of Ishvara, all these are functioning meticulously. Similar to the servant working under pressure of fear of the king. That is the example there. Ananda Lesha ityadi shruti Ananda Lesha apara ananda vishaye. So Ananda Lesha para ananda vishaye Kupambu ashyoho iti. Kupambu ashyoho iti is this example of the well water and ocean water is given to compare the Ananda. If you take Ananda, your Ananda, Manusha Ananda as the size of the Ananda that I am having, what is the Ananda that I am having? That is limited to the size of the well water, let's say. Then the Ananda of Brahma, Ishvara, would be what? It is that Ananda which is the Ananda of the limitless ocean in comparison to the Jiva. The Ishvara Ananda, Brahmananda is manifold beyond comparison. So that is the example there. And Ekadesha gatatva sarvagatatva vishaye paramanu mervor iti. So the example of the atom and the mountain, the comparison or beyond comparison example is given is what? Between the two. Ekadesha gatatva sarvagatatva vishaye. It is an example which relates to ekagatatva being ekadesha gatatva, meaning being present in one place. So desha paricheda is being shown. You cannot be there in another place. So a person has to travel to reach another place. But Ishvara is what? Isha vasyam idam sarvam. He is present everywhere. He has pervaded this world. So that is the example, the fourth one. Evam anyonya viruddhau. So they are both contradicting each other mutually. All these attributes are contradictory. And thereby your objection is valid. Tells the Siddhanti to the Purva Pakshi, your objection is valid because you are taking literal meanings. But the meaning is not literal. Since there is a contradiction, if you have studied Mimamsa, then you know that to make sense of the sentence there, you have to take the indicated meanings. You have to take a Lakshana Vritti. You cannot take the figurative meaning. You cannot take the literal meaning. So Aikya Ayogyav, these are what? Anyonya Viruddhav Aikya Ayogyav. Aikya Ayogyav is Aikya Ayog. They are unfit to be one. These attributes to show you that they are mutually contradictory, and what is mutually contradictory cannot be one. So yau dharminau, those are dharmis. So dharmas are contradictory to each other. Therefore, those ones who have these dharmas are obviously contradictory. Dharmi is, the two dharmis will always be contradictory to each other unless the dharmas are same. The dharmas are different. Therefore, dharmas meaning the attributes are different. If the attributes or qualities are different, then how can the qualified one who has the qualities, how can they both be one, or both of these who have different qualities, contradictory qualities, how can they be one? Therefore, ऐक्य अयोग्यौ यौ धर्मिणौ तयोः अन्योन्य विरुद्ध धर्मिणोः वाच्ययोः. If you take literal meaning, then yes, they are contradictory to each other. तयोः जीवेश्वरयोः ऐक्यं न निगद्यते. That is not being taught by the Shruti. What is being revealed is aikya, of where their contradiction is not possible, where there is no other pramana to show contradiction or bheda badhitatva. It is negated. Jiva and Ishvara literal meanings, if you take as one, it will be refuted by other pramana, which you already know that you are not one with Ishvara with the Upadhi. Kintu lakshitayoho, but the aikya which is nigadyate, which is being taught by Shruti, which is revealed by Shruti, is between the indicated meanings of the words tat and tam. Lakshana vrittya, through the Lakshana vritti is taking a different meaning which is connected through this by some kind of Lakshana. And here the Lakshana is Bhagatyaga Lakshana or Jahadaja Lakshana. That which is not contradictory you keep, and that which is contradictory, so the attributes or qualities which are contradictory between the two, you drop off, but what is not contradictory you retain. So all these which are shown, limitedness, ruled. So on the Jiva side you have Satchidananda plus limited Sarvajna is Alpajñatvam, very little knowledge, is the ruled, and then very little Ananda is there. And what else has been said? See, Ananda Lesha, Ananda is red, and he works under fear. There is limited jnana. So all these are, and then he is not present everywhere. Limited in Desha Kala, Vastu Paricheda is there. There also it is an indicative that only Desha Paricheda has been said, but Desha Kala Vastu Paricheda, I am limited in time, space, and I am limited in all ways. I am a wanting person. So Jiva is this. What about Tatpadartha? He is the creator of the world. You are the created. So he is the creator. He knows everything. He knows, since he has created the world, he knows everything and more. Everything about this world created and more. So Sarvajñatvam is there. He is not Deshakala Vastu Paricheda. He does not have that. He is not Deshakala Vastu Parichinna. He is not limited in any way. He is infinite. He is limitless. Then Ananda, his Ananda is also limitless. So he is the overruler. He is the overlord. You are the ruled. So these are the contradictory attributes. You drop them. But Satchidananda is common on both sides. He is existent. You are existent. He is conscious. You are conscious. He is sentient entity. You are sentient entity. You have Ananda. He also has Ananda. So if you compare all this, then what remains common, you keep those which is called as Bhagatyaga Lakshana. You divide the attributes into groups and then you drop those which are contradictory. Or Jahad Ajah Lakshana. Jahad means giving up what is not common, and Ajahad is not giving up what is common. So through that Lakshana Vrittya, Bodhitayoho Nigadyate, what is known through these Lakshana Vrittis on both sides, that is being taught by Shruti. How do you know that is the Ekatvam which is taught? Upakramadi Linga Avagata Tatparyanusarana Kathyate Ityartha. Nigadyate, it is revealed, meaning through, if you study the Shrutis, you know this is the Tatparya by Upakramadi Linga. So I'll just give the shloka and just mention this before closing. Upakrama Upasamharo Abhyaso Purvata Phalam Arthavada Upapatti Cha Lingan Tatparya Nirnaye. So what are these indicators through which upakramadi linga? These indicators you have to use. You can use the indicators to, just like as a kid, if you are given a story in class and said what is the moral of the story, so you use some ideas to analyze the text and go through that story, and what is the moral of the story, you come to a conclusion. So what are these indicators? Similarly, if you analyze all the Upanishads and see what is the Tatparya, commitment, then what will you use? The tools which are available are these. Upakrama upasamharo. Whatever is the commitment will be used in the beginning and the end. So in the beginning and the end, this is one linga. There are 6 indicators. One indicator is that whatever is the commitment will be opened with and will be closed with. So what comes in the beginning and in conclusion, in the end, is a tatparya, one linga. So this you can use and analyze the Upanishad. Second, so upakrama upasamharo. Then second linga is abhyasa. Abhyasa means whatever is important, whatever is the tatparya is repeated again and again. Tattvamasi has been repeated 9 times in the Upanishad. So if you analyze that Upanishad itself, nothing else is there which has been repeated so many times. Tattvamasi has been repeated, so that is the tatparya, that is the conclusion, that is the commitment of the Shruti. Ekavakyata, tattvamasi. Apurvata, that which cannot be known through anywhere else, which has not been said anywhere else. So apurvata is there. This cannot be known. Tattvamasi cannot be known from elsewhere. This is the only pramana. So therefore, what cannot be known from anywhere else other than the Upanishad, that is the Tatparya, third linga. Phala, what is the result? So it is said that knowing this, you don't need to know anything. You know everything. Knowing which you know everything. Or Ananda is the result. So there's a result which is mentioned that you do not fear anything. So all these are phalas in various Upanishads. The same result has been talked, that you are not limited. Because Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati, your Ananda is limited if there is another. Because you become a wanting person, you find yourself limited. You are not Ananta. Then the phala is what? Ananda is the phala, Anantyam is the phala. All this is taught in the Upanishad. Arthavada and Upapatti are 2 lingas in one pada. This is a dual. Arthavada Upapatti. So Arthavada is what? Arthavada is glorified. Whatever is glorified is, whether through fact or whether through with ninda of others, all these are Arthavada. That is glorification done. So what is praise is the linga, indicator, and Upapatti through logic also, what is established is the Tatparya. These are the 6 lingas. Lingam Tatparya Nirnaye. So these are the group of lingas. Therefore Jato Ekvachanam Lingam Tatparya Nirnaye means to establish, to ascertain the Tatparya, commitment of anything. You can use this 6 lingas. And through these 6 lingas, Advaita establishes that Ekatvam is the Tatparya of the Shruti. सर्व वेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरंतम गोचरम गोविंदम परमानंदम सद्गुरुम प्रणतोस्म्यहम्. Any questions? No questions. I'll see you in the next part.